So before we get into this, I would just like to point out this video and its contents are in no way, shape, or form whatsoever directed or geared at any type or group of people. There is no community that I am specifically talking about within this video. Now, it's going to be really easy for you to assume that I'm talking about the Titanfall community, but I'm not. It just so happens I have Titanfall gameplay showing, and yeah, but this video is in no way, shape, or form directed at anyone or any group of people. So, with that being said, we need to discuss this. So, I'm gonna be flat out honest. I wasn't always like this. I know it took a while for me to understand this. When I first started streaming, I had no idea of this concept of how preference and judgment interact with each other. I thought preference and judgment were one and the same. And admittedly, I can see really, really easy how it would be to see that they are one and the same. But the fact of the matter is, I'm coming here to you today to tell you that preference and personal opinion and judgment, preference and judgment are actually not one and the same. They in no way influence each other. Well, in my opinion, they should not influence each other whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I want to say it is factual that personal preference and judgment should not at all influence each other. I'm not going to sit here and say that we should all love each other and we should all be kind to each other. I'm not going to lie. I don't really think I'm at that point of believing that. But I can at least say that some of the reasons why some of you guys hate each other is just the most petty shit I have ever seen in my life. And because I go out there and I see people talking about bad-mouthing, back-talking behind someone's back. That was repetitive. All for what? Personal preference. And so, yeah, that's what this video is about. Once again, personal preference and judgment should not affect each other whatsoever. Because at the end of the day, despite all the people who I disagree with, despite all the things that I hate that they do, despite how much I might disagree with their actions, at the end of the day, I understand that my disliking towards their actions, my disagreement towards their actions are just ultimately my personal preference. That doesn't make them right, but at the same time, it doesn't make them wrong. But that's besides the point. It doesn't make it right, because that's what an opinion and a personal preference is. It's neither right nor is it wrong. And so when you take something that isn't even grounds in the first place, and you're using that to hate someone, I think that's a very flimsy reason for hating someone, because you're just hating on someone because of what? A personal preference? Because you personally don't agree with them? That's not a way to live life. That's not a way to be happy. Like, for example, pilot mains. I hate the ever living shit out of the actions that they do, and they annoy the holy living shit out of me. But at the end of the day, I understand that's my personal preference. That's my personal reason. And I don't hate pilot memes. I love pilot memes. Beto, Bennyfly, Wagonfall, Kid Hines. I love every single one of them to death. I would do anything for them, because I understand that despite that their actions might annoy me, that's just my personal opinion, and that doesn't necessarily make them bad. You know? But that's besides the point. Marky Corns, Titan player, you know? I don't agree with Titans. I don't play Titans. But just because that's a differing opinion from mine, that doesn't mean that I hate him. I love Marky Corns. I love that man with my heart and soul. But we just live in this, I'm going to say it, we live in this society where if someone has a different opinion than yours, then you are automatically obligated to hate them, and I don't agree with that at all whatsoever. That is just the most petty way of going about living life. And also, another thing is it's in criticism, how people respond to criticism. I've had my fair share of criticism, but I don't hate any of the people that criticize me at all. I'm grateful for the people that criticize me. I respect the people that criticize me. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how sad I get from the criticism I receive. It doesn't matter how angry I get from the criticism that I receive. I still respect everyone, including those who criticize me, as human beings, because I understand that's their personal preference. That's their understanding of me. And I know that doesn't necessarily make me a bad person or a good person. It's just their personal preference of me. And as a matter of fact, maybe I can use their personal preference of me to help better myself in the eyes of other people. But that's besides the point. Yeah. It's just, I see so, and you know what? Let's get this off of from me. You know, I know that's gonna be so hard for me to do, taking the topic off of me, because, you know, literally everything in the world is me. But, you know, I see other people going around hating on other people because of other preferences. Streamers going out there, someone stream snipes them. You know, that's okay. You can hate stream sniping all you want. You can dislike it, and you have every right to dislike it. But at the end of the day, you need to understand, hating stream sniping, that's a personal preference. That ultimately is a personal preference. And that gives you no right to hate on the person who's doing it, because it's a personal preference. Now, Nick, I know what you're going to say. Oh, Nick, you don't actually hate stream sniping. You've stated on multiple different occasions that you don't hate stream sniping. And you're right. Maybe because of that, it is easy for me to say you shouldn't hate on people who stream snipe, despite the fact that you hate stream sniping. Maybe that is ultimately what's causing this, but it's not, because long before, like, I wasn't always like this. Like, I wasn't always okay with stream sniping as I was now. Like, I used to hate it as much as all of you guys did back when I first started streaming over 2 years ago. I hated the holy living shit out of it, but I still understood that it was, but I was still self-aware that it was my personal preference. And it didn't, and despite all the hatred that I held towards stream sniping, I did not direct any of that hatred at all whatsoever towards the people who were doing it. Not in any way, shape, or form. I meant no ill will. I did not wish any harm onto the people who did it to me. I just stated, I don't like this. And then eventually, of course, I learned that stream sniping isn't bad. I always knew that me not liking stream sniping was my personal opinion. I always knew that. But eventually it grew on me that, like, hey, okay, there's a reason why this is an opinion. This is an opinion. And, you know, I slowly started to realize, okay, maybe this actually isn't that bad. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm just so good at the game and stream snipers are the only way that can challenge me. That could be it. You're right, maybe. But still, that doesn't change. Whether I like stream sniping or not, you need to understand it's an opinion, which is which again brings us back to the theme of this video. Personal preference and opinion should not at all, in any way, shape, or form, affect your judgment of another person, another human being, someone with a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, a son, a daughter, a grandmother, a grandfather. These are actual people out here, actual legitimate human beings. And whether it's because of their actions in the video game or actions in real life, you need to sit down and ask yourself, do I hate this person because of a personal preference, or do I hate this person because what they've done is actually factually on paper bad? Like, for example, I hate Hitler because Hitler murdered over 12 million people. Now, that's okay to hate Hitler because murdering 12 million people is factually bad. That's not good. So it's okay to hate Hitler. But Hating someone who robs a bank, that's okay. It's okay to hate someone who robs a bank because robbing a bank is factually bad. That's a bad thing. I don't care what. Don't come at me with a moral standpoint. Oh well, Nick, grammatically, grammatically, Nick, that's an opinion. Well, I'm gonna say, okay, judging by how most of you people speak, when has grammar ever been a basis of how you guys live your lives? Okay, ooh, yeah, I'm gonna get out of this topic quick. But yeah, that robbing a bank, murdering 12 million people, those are all categories of bad things, factually bad things, and it's okay to hate those people for doing those. But hating someone because, oh, their house is larger than mine. I don't like large houses. Oh, their house is so small. Their house is smaller than mine. I hate small houses. That's a personal preference, and that's no basis on to hate someone. It really isn't. It's not only is it toxic to the people around you, but it's also toxic to yourself. That's not a way to live life. That's not a way to be happy. That's not a way to go about and be the best human being that you can possibly be. You're allowed to have your preferences. And I'm not saying you should go out and love every single person. No, once again, I don't think I'm to the point where I'm ready to believe in that. But it's just that there are people out here, whether it's in real life or in a video game, who are hating on people for the most petty and stupid reasons. And as much as I hate this, I was like this myself. I know, I understand where it is. I understand how hard it is to hate on someone, to dislike them, because they do things that you don't agree with. But the fact of the matter is, that's it. It needs to stop. I'm not asking you, I'm just straight up begging you guys. If you're out there, please just take something from this video, It's getting really tired and really old seeing all the people just back talking, all the drama. It's just getting so old and it's just hurting my brain. I feel like I'm going to get an extra gray hair. No, not an extra gray hair. I feel like I'm going to get my first gray hair in my early 20s, like very, very early 20s. Anyways, yeah, that's it. I hope you all have a fantastic evening or morning, whatever time zone it is for you. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys around. Peace.